We're live.
Everybody, welcome to the Brian McCarthy interview show. I am, of course, Brian McCarthy. Sitting stage right is Adam Hineker. If you are listening, it's a podcast. So thank you. Welcome. Feel free to send this around to all of your buddies. It's absolutely free. We don't do any live reads, not for lack of, we wouldn't mind a live read, but I don't know. I mean, we had one live read. It was like gummy bears for hangovers.
It was, I still have some of those.
Do you?
Yeah, because I used our offer code and I bought them.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You actually bought our own thing?
Yeah. Well, it's because it's a product that
You're not even a drinker.
Well, because I get horrible hangovers. Is this a read? Are we doing a read right now?
No, we're not. I don't even know the name of the product. But anyway.
I couldn't tell you. They were slightly effective, but they tasted horrible.
Yeah. I'm a big thing. Like, I think, and again, everybody, by the way, welcome to the show. If you're watching, it's YouTube. We are in Theater of the Mind here. You can look behind us, Adam. We're in these are glory holes, folks. Yeah. Which, by the way,
an eyeball in yours, and then there's some fingers in the middle one, and then a tongue.
Glory holes. For those of you who don't know, for the squares out there.
Of glory holes?
Yeah, everyone gather around. Uncle Brian's going to talk about. So glory holes are when you go to a gay bar, and they have a bunch. It's like a piece of plywood, or maybe it's, I don't know. I've actually. Paul Dinnan has seen a glory hole.
Oh my God, Paul is in the chat right
Paul.
now.
Paul, didn't you see? Hello, Paul. Didn't you see glory holes when we were in the Dominican Republic, or at least the owner of that gay bar took him in the back and gave Paul a tour? I don't know if Paul remembers that, but anyway,
I'm using air quotes.
Yeah,
took us for you're not gonna
remember that gay bar we mistakenly went into and left 9 hours later. His friend Nick was getting, well, my friend Nick too, our friend Nick.
Your friend Nick.
Our friend Nick.
Wait, is that the guy that I met the other day at Gallagher's? That's not. Was that Nick in the blazer?
Guy. Yep.
Nicky Blaze.
Nicky Blaze.
I call him
Blazer, and then basketball shorts. I don't know, it's an interesting look. Yes. Brilliant guy though. My God, you can toast a marshmallow by that guy's brain.
Clinically insane.
Yeah.
Brilliant guy.
Yeah. So
no permanent address.
Anyway, so gay bars, you walk in, you just stick your dick, not your whole, but you're just the shaft. Maybe you could stick. Maybe you could fit your balls nuts through it. I don't think you put.
It's poor for me. You better tip.
Yeah, I don't think you put. Yeah, it's breach of gay.
No pun intended.
It's a breach of etiquette there. It's like, hey, this is. I just want the frank, not the beans. And then you put it through the hole in the plywood, or maybe corrugated steel.
Probably like a laminate kind of Formica type.
And you had mentioned before you want to put tape around it. That way you don't want to like get a splinter or a piece of Formica or a piece of plastic or something on the side of your dick head or your dick wall, the wall of your dick. But I have to say, I think it's very
splinter in your dick wall.
It's a real exercise in trust. I mean, forget like falling backwards.
You imagine? I mean, there's no way that you could.
What?
I mean, there's no such thing as putting your dick in there for the right reason.
Well,
you know what I mean? Not to be like a real buzzkill here.
It just kind of shows me how trusting the gay community is.
Yeah, and again, I'm on the outside of it.
No, right? Yeah.
Most weeknights. So,
and I mean, and again, the idea on paper, it sounds fantastic. You go in,
right?
You stick your dick through. You don't even know who it is on the other side, so there's no issue about like, I don't like guys that have mustaches, or well, you might feel the mustache, but like, it could be some kind of fucking troll in the other end.
I feel the mustache.
All right, fair enough.
Is that a? Right. I think that a soul patch?
So do I do. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like a glory hole sommelier.
Yeah, you're like moving, you're moving your fucking shaft around. You're like,
goatee. I haven't seen one of those since the 90s.
That better be an ingrown hair. LOL. Yeah, just yeah. But I don't think that you can talk to people through the glory hole like it's I think
maybe you could do like Morse code, like a series of knocks.
Yeah, or like a whistle.
Knocks and taps.
But I think like the anonymity of it is probably lends itself to and it does sound, if I can just get in the mind of the gay man for a minute, it does sound pretty hot. You know what I mean? Like you're like, yeah, go down there, and on both sides. I mean, and if you're on the other side, if you go, okay, let's say you're putting your penis through the glory hole. So now there you go. So, but the guy blowing it on the other side, is it just one guy back there blowing it, like those guys that play those glasses with their fingers? Is it one guy hopping?
Oh, you think that there's multiple holes? There's like, is there a line of holes?
Or is it like one guy, or is it a guy that, or okay, are there guys that go down there for the pleasure of sucking dick and are just down there for like a few hours and are just jerking themselves
And
off
they have
and blowing,
shifts.
or just for fun? I mean, listen, if you're in the glory hole, you're doing it for the love of the game. I mean,
for sure.
but you know what I mean? Or is it like, is the etiquette like I go on one side, I get my dick sucked, I come, and then once I come, is it the etiquette of the thing to now I walk around the other side and now I become the not the recipient anymore, but I now become the giver of the blowjob?
Well, the nice thing about a glory hole is it's not specific. So I don't even think you got to walk around. You just stand up, pop it through, right?
I understand, but what I'm saying is,
or is there? You're saying there's a service, like a service bar?
What I'm okay, go with me for a minute. What I'm saying is the rule, if I go down to let's say I go to a place and it's a gay bar. It's
hypothetically,
it's a bathhouse.
Like if your wife was on a business trip.
Yeah, there's a bathhouse on West 35th Street off of 9th Avenue on the south side of the street. But let's say I go to a place, because I don't think most gay bars, unless it's like a pretty hardcore gay bar, they don't have glory holes. You're not going to go to like some piano bar on like the, up in the East 50s.
If
and
only.
Yeah, you go in the bathroom and there's just a wall of, but a beautiful velvet, like a really classy glory hole.
Right.
But okay, so here's what I'm saying. You go into the thing, there's a bunch of plywood, you stick your dick through, somebody on the other side sucks your dick. They're not like an employee. It's not like a guy that has hand towels or anything. It's like another, and whoever's sucking your
proprietor.
But I guess my question is, once I get my dick sucked, once I ejaculate, is it my turn to go around and now I become the blower? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. These are all great questions.
Are these separate entrances? Like, are there areas? Because there are guys, angels, I call them, who just, they can completely just get off by sucking guys' dicks. So maybe there's a guy on the other side of the glory hole. He's blowing a guy, two guys, three guys, whatever it is. And the whole time he's jerking off, or something. I don't know what he's up to, but he's getting some sort of sexual satisfaction on that side. But I do wonder if it's like the kind of thing where you go on one side and then it's like a swing. Like, okay, now you push me, now I push you.
Yeah,
higher. But there's no such thing. There's no way that a straight bar could have a glory hole. I mean, you can't just have a girl like mash her pussy into like a hole and you got to stick your, although there is glory hole porn.
Sure.
Which I've never watched.
I've watched it.
Okay.
Occasionally there'll be a gal that I'm a fan of, that I admire.
Right.
And there'll be a glory hole scene and I'll watch it.
Yeah, I would watch it. If there was a new starlet, an up and coming starlet, I was interested in seeing what she was up to. But that definitely feels that's very theatrical. That's not a real. I don't think
the glory hole
for guys and girls. There might be.
I mean, for hire there are. I've heard
for hire. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely money exchange.
What do you mean? There's like a place where I can go and
I've heard
like a wall of holes.
I knew a guy.
Go ahead.
God, I wish I could remember his name. He was a comedian, but
Thomas Edison.
He was a guy from Boston.
Okay.
And he was on Bobby Kelly's show. This was years ago.
Okay.
And
By the way, I was trying to think of the Dennis Leary's name, and all I could think of was Dolph Lundgren. Is it Dolph Lundgren?
I mean, they're basically interchangeable.
I mean, really, they are.
There was nothing particularly interesting about this guy, but afterwards we got to talking about how he's like he was a rampant sex addict.
Sure.
And now he's like in Sexaholics Anonymous or whatever.
What a bore.
And then but he was like, dude, he was into all kinds of crazy shit. And one of the things was glory holes.
Okay.
But it was like seeing an escort or whatever. I wish I would have asked more follow-up questions.
But you're talking about he's a sex addict, but he would go to glory holes and there'd be girls on the other side.
Presumably.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are the chances it actually is one?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I would imagine, listen, if you're the kind of person that's just sticking your dick through a hole, I can't imagine you'd be that upset. You're like, wait a minute.
Right.
Is this anonymous blowjob better be given by a girl? And what college did she go to?
I want to see her transcript.
She better be white. a racist snob.
Lily White,
yeah.
a racist glory hole goer.
I could see like if you were in some sex club, like in Berlin or something, like or some, you know what I mean, like
Maybe the red light district or something.
Yeah, someplace where you go and but
where it's like loose sight and you can see who's on the other side. You know, it's kind of novelty.
But if you can see who it is, that just that there's no point to that, because again, the anonymousness of it is what it is. I mean, I don't need to vaguely see. Plus, whatever that plexiglass or glass or loose sight or whatever it is, that's going to get smudged immediately. You're going to need to have some sort of like Nigerian guy.
The lucite is the kind of
frosted.
That's the fish tank, and then the wall that the actual glory hole is in would be perpendicular to that. I've dreamt this up. I don't know that this is a real thing. This is just in my mind.
But what I'm saying is like if I'm standing on a glory hole and if you can actually see the person blowing you, then you might as well just get rid of the wall. I mean, who cares?
Sure.
But having like a glory hole that is. There was a gay bar in New York called Splash, and
I have a friend that used to work there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you see this friend when you look in the mirror?
Yes, it's actually a guy that I sent to your Ozempic Connect.
Oh, no kidding.
So you're like a Ozempic.
We're Ozempic buddies. All right. So he's a weight loss hero like me.
Yeah.
I weighed myself today. I was like 174. Oh no.
Are you going back up?
I'm not going back up. But I weighed 170 on Tuesday. So as long as I'm under 175,
the 5-pound fluctuation. I know it's crazy as it sounds. I've had like 4 pounds in a day where the next day I'm like,
I know
165 or whatever.
Yeah. I saw a friend of mine the night before, and I went to town on some Korean fried chicken. And I think that's what it was.
They double fry that.
They do. They cold fry.
So crispy. What's that mean? Cold fry.
Here's what they do. They take the chicken, okay? They put it in cold oil. Then they turn the oil up so that it will ultimately get fried, but they start the oil off. Then they take that chicken, put it on racks, okay? Then it's over there. And then when they get an order, like this is what they do. They go, fire, 8 order fire chicken. Spicy garlic sauce. And then another guy goes, 안녕하세요. And then what they do is they then take that cold chicken that's already been fried, and the oil has permeated all of the meat and the fat and the bone and the connective tissue and everything else. And now that piece of chicken gets flash fried for like a minute. Right. So, but it starts off in like cold oil, goes all the way up. And wow, and that's how they do it. That's like, yeah. So anyway, so I got down on a lot of, and then on Tuesday I went to Tuesday I get my shot, and I got my shot on Tuesday, and then I went to the gym afterwards, and then at the gym, which I haven't ever done this, but I did get sick. I got sick. I threw up at the gym. We were doing crunches.
Do you think it was the Ozempic?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I don't think the crunches were a good idea, and I had gotten the shot. And then what did I do? Got the shot. Then I went to go eat something. And then I went to the gym. And between, and here's the thing about throwing up, at least for me, if you think you're going to throw up, you just want to throw up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because I don't want to feel queasy. I just want to get it out. But it was funny because I'm at the Crunch on 54th Street. That's where I go. And I had to throw up. So I went upstairs to the locker room. I never go upstairs because there's a handicap stall on the handicap bathroom on the first floor. I never go up there. So I went up there, and this is where the infamous steam room that has never been opened because there's too much gay shit going on in there. But I went in the stall, and I stood over the toilet, and I was like, let me see what's going to go. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah. And I can just hear people like using the bathroom around me. I want it to be like, oh, this is all cum. No, I'm cum.
Right.
It's all cum.
A few weeks ago, right? You yacked in the sink before we.
Yeah. Thank you for telling the world.
No, we talked about it on the show, but I forget why that. It probably is Ozempic related.
Yes. Oh yeah. I don't know if Paul has the same issue, but it's anything with acidity. Like I don't fuck with balsamic vinegar. Yeah. And I think you and I were enjoying.
Yeah. Maybe a tomato. Maybe you had a caprese.
It was like some sort of a Italian sub. Capricola, prosciutto.
Gabagool.
I hate it when people say prosciutto. I hate that.
Prosciutto.
How busy are you? You can't say prosciutto.
Yeah.
It's not the real word.
Cappuccino.
Yeah, I used to work with a guy, and he was from Bensonhurst, and he would not say mozzarella. He would go mozzarella. And I'm like, shut up. You sound like what are you doing? Like Sopranos cosplay?
Basically.
Yeah.
I think it's like they're New York Italian people, and like their uncle says it that way or something. And he gave a speech one time about it's not mozzarella.
Yeah.
It's mozzarella.
Giving away his daughter. Why? Her skin is as creamy as a ball of mozzarella.
Fresh buffalo mozzarella.
Mozzarella and prosciutto on a semolina roll.
Semolina. Yeah. They're a lot of weird vowels that get flipped. A lot of A's turning into ERs and ERs turning into A's.
And not that I'm advocating for anybody else's show in terms of podcast. I know there's 8 million other shows that you can listen to, right? And thank you for listening to this one. But Mario Bosco, who we've talked about, has
Mario.
Yeah, he has a podcast now, and it's a live. What's a YouTube channel thing?
Yeah, it's YouTube and podcast, and
he just
over at the Italian network.
That's right.
Growing Up Italian.
Joe DeRosa sent me the link to it, and it was him with Lisa Ann, the porn actress. Now what do you call it? Now she does fantasy football, and so or fantasy something, and so anyway, do you do privates? But anyway, so
private fantasy draft.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I book you for a draft?
Yeah. Ooh, you want my fucking fullback, you bitch? Oh yeah. You like that? How many quarterbacks can you
got your
fit?
Derrick Henry right here.
Yeah. You want that? Put it in my asshole. Oh yeah. Beat that spread. Anyway, so Mario had her on his show, and he's got some co-host named Irma, ERMA, and she has a wet cough. And I mean, look, I couldn't really get through it. But the theme song,
I'm a big fan of Irma.
Yes, she's really gross. I mean, and I mean that in a very affectionate. I mean, she's leaning into it. So by me saying she's gross, that's kind of the idea. She's like one of these, like, she sounds like she smoked like 9 packs of cigarettes a day. She's complaining about how many Chinese are in Bensonhurst. Yes. They used to have water ice over there. Now it's, I don't know, dog sandwiches. Who the fuck knows? Bleh! It's like that kind of thing. So it's the Mario Bosco YouTube show with Irma and Lisa Ann. And he opens up the show and he's talking about Lisa Ann. She's on the show and she's very polite. She's like, thank you for having me. And he's like, and it's so funny because God bless little Mario. I mean, I guess, but like he opens up and it's such a hack thing. And he goes, I tried to look you up on the internet, and let's say that my computer almost was broken from the movies you was in. And she's like, yeah, the pictures. Wow. So many Moulignans and one on top of the other. She's like, well, what kind of show is this? But and then he pretends, and then she goes, do you mean my fantasy football? No. Do you mean all my interviews that I do on live with Lisa Ann? Well, no, you do interviews, but you don't have a microphone in your mouth. Actually, I should write for him. This is pretty good, actually.
This is a kind of a killer back and forth that's going on.
Yeah. Pretending to be, I cosplay as Mario Bosco.
Things Mario might say.
Yeah. WWMD. Yes. What would Mario do?
But listen, we got sidetracked because you were talking about Splash. You were going into Splash, and glory holes, and we got sidetracked with your the Ozempic, bro,
the ADHD podcast. Okay, so essentially, what it is Splash was this gay bar which had the greatest happy hour in New York because they had, if you went there between 5 and 7, it was buy one get 2 free. So it's a pretty good deal if you think about it. I mean, it is a good, no 2 ways about it. And actually, the guy that owns Splash, you can look this up if you don't believe me, died of a GHB overdose.
Holy
shit. Yeah. So
died doing what he loved.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Right. They gave him a 21 jockstrap.
Now, GHB, is that a date rape?
Well, anything can be a date rape drug. If I give you a cupcake and you're an uptight bitch, then that's a date rape drug.
Right.
Because I paid for that cupcake. Them panties are coming off.
Sure.
No, GHB, as I understand it, is some sort of I've done it. I've done it once.
Okay.
But when I did it, you're not supposed to drink alcohol with it because you can die. And I didn't know that. So you do like a little cap full of GHB, and then you chase it with like a liquid, like a, Mountain Dew or Gatorade or water. And it's supposed to provide euphoria, and I don't even know what it's supposed to do, but it clearly gets you fucked up enough where it's very popular. Maybe it does something where it like opens your asshole up or something. I don't know, but it's very popular in the gay community, GHB. But it's also a weightlifting supplement.
Go hard, boy.
Yeah, it's a weightlifting supplement, but it's also, I believe, it's used as like a corrosive for metal. So it's not organic, not good for you. But if you take, I remember I took it and we were out at a nightclub and I was drinking Stolio and club sodas, and my friend was like, "You drinking alcohol?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You took GHB?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, no, stop that. And I was so annoyed because I loved. I loved drinking. So I was so annoyed. I was like, now I can't drink. And
right.
So anyway, I gave it a couple hours and I just got back into it. But
okay.
Anyway, but at Splash, when you went into the bathroom, each urinal had a camera set up, and there were different TVs, and you could, when you were pissing, you could look at your monitor there, and you could see other urinals. It kind of like scrolled through, so you could see everybody's different cocks as they were pissing all down the line. You follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a nice way to kind of check out the merchandise, like, and you could just stay in there and go. Of course, if you're as small as Mario, though, you're like, look, all of a sudden you just see his little leathery face.
Yeah.
Oh, I need an apple cart to stand on. Somebody give me an apple box.
I told you the time that I got cruised in the men's room at Bloomingdale's.
Yes.
And it was essentially that, because it was the little thing was like, it was the dispenser for the toilet covers.
Yep.
Right. The sanitary toilet cover. And I'm like, I looked over and it was just an eyeball looking right at me. There was kind of like a real life version of that where they had not a glory hole, but it was a makeshift, I guess, maybe a makeshift glory hole.
You'd have to, could you,
if the guy could look at me through.
Okay. Fair enough. I wasn't sure if it was like a peephole, like a little Porky's hole, or is it like more a bigger, like a round. Be funny, like, you look in there, you see like an old time brass telescope. It's like beep. Oh, by the way, this reminded me, I had one of the more depressing like human interactions that I've had in a very long time earlier this week. So earlier this week, one of our dogs, Rosie, she has like a fatty growth on her. Thank God I have these dogs that are constantly having medical maladies.
Called Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah. Well, funny you should say that, because apparently it is just sort of some sort of benign cyst. And when dogs
it usually is.
Yeah.
Especially something big like that.
Dogs get older, they get lumpy. It's what it is. So anyway, so my wife was like, we got to take her to the vet. So, okay. Because apparently one of the lumps like felt hard to her. Okay. So I went with her, and she's in the she's in the vet's office, and or the room there, and I'm in the lobby, and it's a small little vet's office, and there's, as soon as we walk in, there's an old man with a cardigan on, which is already like kind of depressing, and he's got like a derby hat on, and he's sitting by himself, big guy, kind of a big older guy, and he's got like a big spaniel in between his legs. And as soon as we walk in, he goes, "Oh, it's a beautiful dog you have there." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And we actually had her, and we actually had the new one with us too. We had Pretzel with us too, because we figured, but Pretzel didn't need to go to see the vet. We just brought her for the fuck of it. So I'm waiting with Pretzel, and we're waiting to go into our own room. And then the guy just says to us out of nowhere, he goes, would you like my dog?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he goes, my wife can't walk, and she has dementia. Wow. And I'm 82.
He's just casually,
and he's just hanging out in the lobby.
Oh my God.
Asking if somebody, he goes, and then he kind of does like a weird soft sell. He goes, and he's petting her, and he's going, "She's a good girl. We've had her for 9 years, still some life in her." and she'll be good with a family like you. You have a kind face. And I was like, well, thanks.
Did he say you have a kind face?
He did. Yeah.
I love this guy, this character.
It was a real thing. This
That's
really
like a
happened.
guy that Stan Smith would run into on American Dad or something. Like, just like a weird guy on a bench.
Yep, just exactly.
Would you like my dog?
Would you like my dog?
That's the guy that would be asking Peter Griffin or something.
And of course, and then my wife gets called into her room, right? So now I'm just alone with this guy. I have Pretzel. He has this dog he's trying to give away, and he goes, well, and he looks at me like as if he made the offer. He goes, well, will you take my dog?
You've had time to think about it.
Yes. How much? It'd be funny. He got really, if he got cunty with me, he's like, how much longer am I going to have to sit here and be a pathetic old man before you take my fucking dog? My wife doesn't even know my name anymore. Right. And you won't take my goddamn dog. I was in Korea. For what? For a faggot like you? You're like, whoa, sir, this is getting
escalated.
Whoa.
Holy shit. Could you imagine if that's how it played? That was the arc of it every time.
Yeah, you think you're somebody because you got
you think you're better than me?
You got Gucci loafers on. We all know you were raised poor. You can smell it on you. Yes. You little shanty Irish cabbage orphan. You're a cabbage orphan. Yeah.
Holy
exactly.
Shit.
I bet you like.
And then it turns out he was just like a figment of your subconscious.
You're the kind of guy who goes to a glory hole and they have to ask you to leave. How many dicks are you going to suck today, you little cabbage faggot? Like, Jesus, sir. No. So now I'm alone with the guy and I'm sitting with my puppy, Pretzel, and Jocelyn's in there already. And the guy's like, again, he's continuing to engage me. And everything I say to him, it's more and more depressing. I go to, because I said to him, I'm
sure you said, like, I'm not really in a position to adopt a dog.
I said, hey,
impulse adopt a dog.
I did make the joke. I said, and I don't think he heard me, or I said, one way to get rid of that old pooch is take her to a Chinese restaurant. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Chinese.
Sure.
Yeah. And
drop her off with the Orientals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a Chinese butcher shop on the corner there. They'll have that dog chopped up in a hamburger.
Did he even acknowledge the joke?
No,
nothing. Just kind of.
I kind of like.
He kind of sounds like the guy. He might be kind of monologuing at you.
Yeah.
Not a lot going in. He was a lot going out.
And then, but I was trying to now I was like, I'm alone with this guy. I'm going to solve his problem, or at least I might as well. I'm just waiting for Justin to come out, or at least I'm also thinking to myself, did he just come in here and just sit here? Like, does he even have an appointment? Like,
that's what I want to know.
He did have an appointment because he did end up going in like 5 minutes later. But I said to
maybe
him,
he's just trying to avoid having to pay. He's like, if I can just kind of pawn this off on somebody in the lobby.
Right. I know. It was so funny.
I'm off.
He gives me the dog. And then as I leave, the vet's like, wait.
And he said his wife has dementia.
Yes.
So no accountant. She's not going to know. Obviously, that the dog's missing.
No, I don't know.
Kind of hilarious.
I know. Right. He comes back with a ferret. He's like, look at our dog now. It's a little skinny, disgusting dog. No. Okay. So here's what happened. So I start talking to the guy. And I said to him, and I think I made a very salient point. I said, listen, what you're going through right now is terrible. And I'm sorry for what's happening to you. I can't take your dog. I already have 2 dogs and they're both crate trained. And he looks like and the dog, by the way, had like a really weird, old man. It was like the dog's name was like Roger or something. Or no, I swear to God, I think the dog's name may have been Stanley.
Oh, shit.
And it was like an old, it was like a Cocker Spaniel, but big one. It was a big Cocker Spaniel.
Okay, so maybe mixed with something.
No, it was a purebred dog. No,
really?
He told me.
I didn't know Cocker Spaniels were.
It was okay. I'm not really great with breeds, but it was a tall.
Neither am I.
It was a big, maybe a setter. Okay. I don't know. It was a big fucking
Irish
dog.
Irish setter. That's a very old man dog.
It was an old man dog. Yes, exactly. The dog had a meerschaum pipe in its mouth. Yes. One of those double hound of the baskerville
houndstooth vest on. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Inspector Clouseau. The dog had a trench coat on.
Right.
Exactly. A racing form underneath its
sold me a paper for a buffalo nickel. Like, this dog was old.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know if I'm driving my point home.
This dog was old. This dog bought its dog food with ration coupons. Right. This dog had an I like Ike button on its on its old timey vest and its
Sure.
Argyle sweater. Dog was wearing an Argyle sweater.
Yeah.
But he says to me, he goes, I said to the guy, I said, what you're going through is something that a lot of people have gone through, and I'm sorry for what you're going through. I said, but I promise you, especially, and this is what I'm trying to suss out, if this guy's even like a patient or whatever. I thought if she just walked in here, because, white guy privilege, an old man walks in a place, sits down with a dog. No one's going to, by the time they have to close up, they're going to get him out of there. But, and look, I live in a pretty nice neighborhood, but it is full of like strange white people. I mean, old people.
Cranky old people.
Case in point, the post office.
Yeah.
Right. So I said to him, listen, if I were you, okay, I would go to a glory hole. Now, I said, if I were you, I would go to the receptionist and I would tell them your situation, because I promise you there's Stanley's not going to end up, in a bad situation. Someone's going to help you out with this. I can't be the one. I can't do it. And he was like kind of annoyed with me. He's like, well, I'll ask him if that's your best. And then
you love people like that they kind of just make it your problem.
Yeah. Well, then it kept getting worse. I said to him, I said, he goes, he's great with children. Do you have children? Of course, I made my standard joke. I said, I have one daughter, Kaniqua. She's 39.
Sure. How'd that go? Over?
That one didn't know. Just like the Chinese restaurant, didn't really land. And but he says, and I said to him, I said, do you have children? I have 2 daughters. I said, that's nice. He goes, no. One lives in Germany, so she can't help with Stanley. As if and then I decided to kind of go into that a little bit, and I said, oh, she married to a German guy. And again, I know it sounds like I'm making this up, but I really am. I did say all this shit. And then he goes, yeah, they met at college and she lives in, I said, oh, where in Germany? As if I fucking know Germany.
Sure.
But he goes, Munich. And I sort of remember Munich.
Okay.
Munich's in Bavaria.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, Bavaria. And I said, do you like him? Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, I like him. Fine. And then I said, well, that's good, because, sometimes these Germans can have bad attitudes. Sometimes they can be a real sauerkraut. Okay. And that one,
he liked that
little bit. That one, he was like, but he was like annoyed. Like,
he at least took a beat. He acknowledged it.
He was like, he said something along the lines of, I get that. Okay. Like, I get it.
I acknowledge your attempt at humor.
Nah, yeah. You should have gone, I got a joke for you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Take my dog.
Yes. Are you going to take my fucking dog or what?
Take my dog. Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been you knowing you may have actually you wouldn't have adopted the dog for that joke, but you may have facilitated him.
Well, here's what I thought.
Finding a home for Stanley.
I was now thinking that maybe I would volunteer to go, because I asked the guy, I'm like, what is the issue?
Right.
Like
why are you approaching people in lobbies?
Well, and also like what of the walks? And number one, when he was sitting, he told me he couldn't walk very well. And when he got up, I could see he shambled. He was a shambling.
Okay.
He was walking like Snuffleupagus. And Snuffleupagus. He lumbered. Yeah. Yeah. He had an ungainly gait.
Okay.
And so, but I said to him, and I got it again. I'm not, by the way, this is the longest 5 minutes of my life, because I told him, I said, yeah, my father-in-law's 81 and his dog passed away a few years ago. And I said, I get it. I said, you don't want to fall and you break your ankle. It's going to be a nightmare. I said, so of the walks, is there one walk in particular that gives you a hard time or trouble? Because the dog's 9 years old. It's a big dog. I mean, this dog maybe has 4 more years. And he goes, the early morning. And I said, well, would it be possible for you to hire someone to walk the dog once a day in the morning and just come to your house? And he actually went, all right. I said, that might be a Band-Aid until either you die or Stanley dies. No, but I said, that might be a Band-Aid. I said, but again, when you leave here, I said, and I do wish you the best of luck. And his name was like something like, I swear to God, his name was like Harold or something. It's like Mr. And I kept calling him Mr. Whatever his name was, like Mr. Harold or Mr. Something like that. It was either the dog.
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, Mr. Snuffleupagus, right. Mr. Sad Face. But I said, but on your way out of here, I said, you should definitely ask them at the reception desk if they can help you. So as we're saying this, Jocelyn comes out with our dog. and she has to go to the front desk and pay. So the guy turns to me and he goes, "There's a bathroom here, right?" And now again, we're in a room it's maybe 20 feet wide, and I go, "Yeah, it's a wall, it's a door right over there." I said, "Would you like me to hold Stanley while you use the facility?" And he said, how funny would it be?
I'd like you to hold him forever.
How funny he
You're
goes
gonna
in.
get out.
Yeah,
You don't get that I'm getting at.
he goes in
keeping my dog.
He goes in the bathroom and he gets stuck climbing out of the window,
Yeah.
like
It's
Winnie.
like the 37th floor.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
shit!
yeah, he's like Winnie the Pooh. He's stuck like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
It's like just a tattered
You just see a pair of Birkenstocks and like wide corduroys.
tattered pair of loafers with the
Yeah.
with the tassel missing from one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Foiled again. Just keep pushing me out.
Right.
It's fine. I've had a good run.
Oh.
So anyway, so I tell him, I said, bathroom's over there. So this is when I noticed that the walking was not great. So he got up and he shambles over the bathroom and he brings his dog with him. And this is, I swear to God, this is what happens. He goes in, okay, door's wide open. He just starts using the bathroom with the door wide open. With the door wide open.
And the dog is in the bathroom or outside.
Very good. The dog is walked up to the entrance of the bathroom,
Sure,
which is a single. It's not like it's a
Stanley's watching the door.
Stanley's watching him piss.
Sure.
So Stanley's not like turned around.
Yeah.
He's facing. And let me tell you, I don't know if this guy. Like, I know when people get older, you have the hard time pissing or something. This guy had the urine stream of a man half his age. Like he was in there pissing and the water was splashing on. I was like, what is he? Is he throwing ham down the toilet? Like it was like going on. And I was horrified. I was clutching
Quite a stream you got there, sir.
I was clutching my pearls. I was horrified because at this point, Jocelyn was already, because I told her, I said, listen, pay and go out. I'm trying to I didn't want her to come back and engage. Meanwhile, if anybody else would have come back there, there's just a door wide open. There's this old guy in there straight up. And I didn't look in to see, but he may have had his pants around his ankles. I don't think.
Like a little kid.
He probably pulled he pulled his cock right out of his fucking whalebone corduroys. He's like, yeah. Stanley comes over and licks his dickhead. Yeah, you like that, Stanley? Mm-hmm. This dog knows all the tricks. You sure you don't want? Now I bet you want her, huh? You little Kansas City faggot. Yes. Wow. Yeah, you like that, don't you? No wonder you. Yeah, you were a bedwetter. Nobody came to your second grade birthday party, huh? At McDonald's. I'm like, this guy must listen to the show. So anyway, so I leave and I go to the receptionist as I'm leaving, and I go, hey, that guy back there is using the bathroom and the door's just wide open. She goes, ugh. I said, all right, well, I'm leaving. So then I left and I don't know what happened.
Wow.
Next time I go, he's still there. Now he's like a long beard.
Yeah. He could be a permanent fixture.
A little pup tent. They let me sleep in the exam rooms at night. My wife doesn't know the difference. I just put a potted plant in the corner and a baseball hat on it. She thinks I'm going to see the Brooklyn Dodgers.
But in the time that you kind of had this interaction, you were the only person that came through.
Yes.
So we don't know if he was asking everyone.
Well, or
if you were the first.
I don't know.
Kind of to get that sweet offer.
Mean, look. I was, I had loafers on.
Would you like my dog?
That was exactly what he said. I swear to God, I wish.
Would you like my? It's an interesting word.
Maybe people think I'm full of shit. Let's call Jocelyn for a second. All right, get her on speakerphone on her mobile phone.
All right. Let's.
So
call up Mrs. McSee.
Yeah, call her and get her on speakerphone. Let's see if she even picks up.
There you go.
Thanks.
Hold it kind of by the mic there.
She might be very busy. It's a busy week at work. I hope she picks up.
Sure
She knows it's showtime. She knows this is very important.
Right.
Oh, well. Boy, I can't even get I've been so lonely recently.
Call has been
oh, yeah?
Well, I mean, I guess.
Wow.
Hold on. Let me just let her know it wasn't that important.
Yeah. Just.
Hey, Siri.
Mm-hmm.
Send a text message to Jocelyn McCarthy.
What would you like to say?
Hey, if you're busy, could you just verify, please, that when we went to the veterinarian there was an old man who tried to give us his dog, or me his dog, or both of us, really. You're going to send a text message or call if you want. I'm just telling the story, and I thought it'd be funny if you would, qualify my horse shit. All right. I love you, baby. Goodbye, baby.
Okay, sending.
Is it going to read it back?
No, just sending. I wanted to hear the Irish voice.
I know.
Read it back.
I have my phone set up to be Irish.
Yeah.
Hello.
I like that you think, but you think everybody's just gonna say you're bragging about an old man trying to
Well, I don't know.
give
You know what
away
I-
your dog. You're
sometimes
always
I know,
bragging.
but sometimes people think you're foolish. I don't know. Like I know that sometimes I say like things that sound fantastical. Like,
yeah.
you really found a dead guy in the dumpster? Yes. You really
Uh-huh.
you really went to, I don't know, whatever, bedwetter, blew your dad, blah, blah, blah. You and your mother made out drunkenly. What?
I've said too much.
Exactly. Cut that part out.
Mhm.
So anyway, hey, by the way, we were going to have a guy on the show today, a guy named Max. He was Haitian, and he was
Rest in peace. He's dead now.
he's dead now. He actually has Stanley's dog, and he's taken to Port-au-Prince. Put in some voodoo cookbook. Oh,
Okay. This past wait, she just wrote this past Monday, April 15th. So wait, what's the date today?
yeah, that she's just
so she's like verifying
Okay, so,
the date.
all
So
right,
this lady's thorough.
yeah. Okay, so that's fine.
Or
All right,
maybe she
everybody-
thought you
listen.
were asking when was it.
Okay, fair enough.
But
Doesn't
that's a
matter.
verification.
Okay, again, if you somehow you needed me to, I don't know why I'm caught up in this for a
You
minute. But,
created this whole
all right, never
thing.
mind. Yeah, exactly. It's all in my fever dream.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. So yeah, so that happened, and good luck with that dog, and I'm sure it's all going to end out great. But there has to
Yeah,
be some.
good luck to Stanley. I
Okay.
hope he finds a good home.
I told you once I got one of my dogs from I'm gonna fart. Sorry. From Badass Bitches. There's
sure,
there's like a there's a dog rescue thing and they're lesbians out in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and they rescue female dogs from kill shelters. That's how we got our old dog Indira. She was from these lesbian dog rescuers. Which, again, I'm not making that up either. Google search Badass Bitches and you'll come right up. Google search glory hole. I wonder if there's a lesbian glory hole. You just try to scissor each other through plywood. Probably
Man,
wouldn't work.
the hole would have to be much bigger.
Yeah, and much fishier. So anyway, little Melissa Etheridge piping through in the bathroom. Right.
Sure.
Some sort of tempeh sandwich. Do you like tempeh? You ever eat that?
Tempeh.
It's like seitan, Seitan. It's like vegan. It's like vegan meat.
Oh. I've eaten some of it.
I believe tempeh is all it is I think it's all it is smoked tofu.
Okay. Yeah.
Smoked tofu. My first band.
I've had some.
My first band in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were a Smiths cover band. Get it? Because what's his name is a vegetarian.
Yeah. Yeah. What is his name?
Morrissey.
There you
Going to wish you an unhappy birthday. 'Cause evil and you lie, and if you should die. Okay. So anyway, so we got Badass Bitches, but there must be some sort of like organization that helps because people get old and they get too old for their dogs. So I wonder if there's an agency.
Crazy old people
Specifically, they go in, right, and they get, because I don't know if you remember now, but there was a time when I tried to get a Brittany Spaniel, and there was a guy that had a Brittany way the fuck upstate in New York, like up by what's that? Not Erie, Pennsylvania, but like up by Buffalo. I don't know, way the fuck up, like Western New York, like middle of
way
goddamn,
up there.
yeah, like 95 hours away from here by driving fast. And I got the guy on the phone, and I had it because it was like this organization was like, listen, we have this dog. It's exactly the kind of dog that you're looking for, but it's going to be a surrender. So you're going to have to go to where this person lives and meet in a public place, and the guy's going to give you the dog, and then you're going to sign some paperwork. So it's an unusual way, but the guy really needs to get rid of the dog. Same kind of thing. It was like an old guy and wife, and I don't know what the fuck. So but the guy wanted to talk to me on the phone, and I called the guy, and he literally was like, hello, and and again, it's fine. I'm not trying to dishonor the elderly here, and I said to him, I said, hi, I'm Brian. I'm calling about your Brittany. I don't know, dog's name was something. And he goes, well, where do you live? And I said, well, we live in New York City. And he goes, well, these dogs need a lot of exercise. And I said, sir, are you familiar with the TV show Different Strokes? And he goes, what? And I go, I'm like Mr. Drummond. Okay. This dog is like Willis and Arnold. This dog will want for nothing. It'll be weekends in the Hamptons, perhaps in the winter. We will go to Stod or Aspen. I said, don't worry, sir. I make a very good living. And he goes, what? Who is? I said, Different Strokes. You know, the old man. It's about an older white gentleman that adopts 2 black boys. He's got his own daughter, Kimberly. Funny story. Dana Plato was her name. She ended up doing a pictorial in Playboy. He was like, what?
This guy is very lost.
Yeah. And I said, he goes, you sound like a real joker. I swear to God, he said that. And then when I did I could feel like this is way too much. Like I was shot out of a cannon with this guy, you know?
It sounds like you were.
Yeah. So I dialed it way back and I said, yeah, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry about all that.
I came out a little strong.
Yeah.
I am interested in the dog.
I said, listen, I said, how about this? Because he had an email address. He must go down to the library or something. He's, what's your email address? It's a 44 at hotmail.com. My email address is the number 4. So I said to the guy, I tell you what I'll do. Why don't you look around where you live, find a location that is amenable for you to get to? Because they told me in the organization, shout out to the Brittany Spaniel Animal Rescue Network. It's actually Brittany Animal Rescue
They have their
Network.
whole whole network.
I'll tell somebody. I'll tell everybody this. If there's ever a dog breed that you want, but you don't want to buy it, what you do is you go and you search the name of the dog, like for example, Brittany, right?
Sure.
And you look and they go Brittany Animal Rescue Network. So there's going to be a Jack Russell Animal Rescue Network, a Bulldog. And this is for people, either breeders who for some reason have a dog that, I don't know, it doesn't, or like a lot of times, like for example, my dog, Rosie, she was a hunting dog that she's not a very good hunter. So the breeder was like, I can't, what can you do with this dog?
I can't with this dog.
Do with this dog. What am I going to do with you?
It's a little scratch and dent.
This dog can't even.
She's a floor model.
Yeah, she can't even lick her own cunt. Right. She's over there. Dog's a fucking retard. Look at her. She's from a lineage. Don't ask. Yeah. So right. Yeah. She pisses in her own mouth and thinks it's lemonade. So anyway, so this guy goes. So these
Guido. That was Guido Breeder. That was
Guido
his
Breeder.
New.
Yeah.
Whoa. Holy
Okay.
shit.
Okay, that was actually pick it up. Would you?
Holy shit. I just
right,
hit.
will you hit
the
speakerphone,
silent.
please? Speakerphone or something. I already picked it up.
Shit.
Did we do it?
There
Okay.
you go.
Hey, sorry. Hey, I'm sorry, baby. Hey, listen, I know that you don't like it when I call you and stuff on the show, and I'm sorry, but will you it sounds kind of fantastical that I was telling a story about how we went to the vet and there was this old man waiting with his dog and was trying to give his dog to us.
It's not fantastical. It was really sad.
Well, that's what I was saying. It was really sad. And then, do you remember what he did when he went to the bathroom? What did he not do?
I did not witness that, but I heard you tell me that he did not close the door.
Thank you. Okay, good. I don't know why it's important that everyone. God, I'm tearing up a little bit. How proud are we of Mia? Right? I could cry right now. All right. Listen, I love you very much. You've done great. Okay.
All right, love you.
All right. Bye, gorgeous. See you later.
I was just thrown off by the ringtone. It was Can't Touch This.
No, actually, it wasn't.
Oh, or was it the thing that they had sampled?
She's a very sexy
it
girl.
Was,
she does. Super freak.
I know. Like in the wrong name, like Rick Springfield for some reason.
Right. Dusty Springfield. No, when my wife calls, the ringtone she has is Super Freak.
Okay,
pretty fun, right?
Got it. I only heard just a second, and I thought it was MC Hammer.
But by the way, shout out
Rick
to
James.
By the way, shout out to Jocelyn. Doesn't my wife have a really nice speaking voice?
She does have I was thinking she has a very nice voice.
I know. It's a very mellifluous speaking voice. And you're in the industry.
I don't know what that means, but when I look it up, I'm sure I'll agree with you.
It's got 17 L's in it.
Mellifluous. Right. Save some fucking L's for the rest. We got company coming.
Got some L's at the dry cleaner. There's so many.
I tell you, this guy takes so many fucking L's.
What's your last name, Bo? All right. So anyway, I digress. So now that really happened. I feel like good. We just spent 20 minutes of me telling you a story, and it really did happen. So anyway,
that was such
so-
a bad joke. It took a second for me to
Yeah.
get it. Elbow. Okay.
yeah. What is it? A birthday party or something? You're
Oh.
wrapping it up in a bow or something? Elbows?
She does have a very nice voice, though.
It's a
We'll
dulcet
book her
tone.
sometime. Maybe we'll get her
Yeah,
sometime.
I'll book her. I'll book her in her butt.
Okay.
Anyway, so to wit, so I hung up with this guy. We left it with this guy up in fucking Buffalo with this old dog, or not. It was a young dog, so he couldn't. So I said, I tell you what I'll do. I said, why don't you talk to Catherine Janovic is her name.
Okay.
She's the one that is the head of the Brittany Rescue Network. We're on Facebook together now. She's not the head of it anymore, but she's still. When I actually got my dog Rosie from, I know I'm all over the map here, sorry, but when I actually got Rosie from her, ultimately, when I finally got my dog through that same network, but like 6 months later, and when I finally got her, I had to go up to Binghamton, New York, which is like 3.5, 4 hours north of here. And I had to meet her, and she had like a minivan, and the minivan was covered in like bumper stickers. There was like honk if you love Britney's,
Sure.
I brake for Britney's. My other dog is a Brittany. Brittany's caused 9/11. A Brittany Spaniel knocked over the Key Bridge.
Leave Brittany alone.
Yeah, leave Brittany.
You know,
leave Brittany alone. Brittany's from the river to the sea.
Yes.
Oh boy. Brittany's are people too.
Right.
Brittany lives matter.
Mhm.
So anyway, and I remember I was with my friend Simon, who's English, and he was like, "How will we know which car it is?" And she pulled into the lot, and I was like, "I'm guessing it's that thing."
Yeah,
The one,
the Chrysler minivan with the fucking
she hit her
wood
horn.
grain on
She
the
hit her
side.
horn and went. "Roo, roo, roo." All right. So anyway, so I told her, because I could tell this guy was like, he was not having it, right? I don't know. So I said, I tell you what.
Well, it almost sounds like maybe he thought it was a prank or something.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
we
just
left-
because you don't expect a lot of shtick when you're trying to adopt it.
Well, if you have a dog, you take a stick and throw it. It'll bring it back to you.
Yeah.
All right. So I told the guy on the phone, I said, listen, here's what we should do. I said, I'm going to send you a picture of my dog, and I'll send you, I don't know what else. I'll send you picture of my dog. I said, but more importantly, Catherine knows me because I've helped her in the past. These people, when you want one of these like purebred rescue dogs, you kind of have to, it may be like a 2-year process. You know what I mean? Because you kind of get in the system, and it has to be a dog that's within a few hours from you. And, there's a criteria that you might get lucky. You might sign up with these people, and a week later, and actually I would have had this dog, but I told the guy, I said, why don't you call Catherine? She'll vouch for me. And then we'll email each other. No more phone calls. We'll email each other, and you tell me a public location that's close to you. And the last thing he said to me on the phone, because I kind of thought we were good.
Right.
He goes, all right, well, I'll reach out to her, and there's a gas station by my house.
Right.
And I was
Let me
kind of
know
like,
the nearest Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
And I'll meet you there.
Right. There's a feed
by the rocking chairs.
There's a feed store down the way. There's a grain.
This guy he seemed very skeptical just because of
I'll meet you by the abandoned
big city humor.
Well, that's what he said. So this is the funny thing. So apparently he has a conversation with Catherine, right?
Okay.
And I call her like a couple days later, and I was like, hey, I never heard back from like old man Scooter.
Gene from up near Buffalo.
An hour outside of
up
Buffalo.
There near Buffalo.
She was like embarrassed. She goes, look, I don't know what happened, but he doesn't want you to take his dog. He said that you were too New York.
Interesting.
And you talk too fast. And I said, okay. And she's also from upstate. So she kind of was a little bit like, I get it, but And I said, well, what do we do? She goes, I just don't think this is going to be a good fit for you. So he doesn't want to give you the dog. And
wow, you
I was
can
like,
refuse
well, yeah.
I guess it's the owner's right.
Don't worry. I snapped its neck instead of giving it to you.
Like, what did he think was? It's so crazy.
Yeah, how you doing it, buddy? Oh, this dog's going to be great. All right, take it to Conic Parkway. Go to Bronx River Parkway, Sawmill Parkway.
I think this man's autistic. He's talking about Judge Wapner.
I'm going to take it on a cyclone up Brooklyn, Coney Island, and get a fucking corn dog. And then we're going to the top of the Empire State Building. Then we're going to see a Broadway show. This dog's going to get all over the goddamn a real knickerbocker, this dog, a real knickerbocker.
He's both autistic and from another time.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take this dog in the IRT, the one that I'm to do the tree. the NDR, Queens, Flatbush, all right, Brooklyn, Staten Island, even go down there all over the fucking five boroughs.
I mean, realistically, from his perspective, that's what he heard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know that you're,
Yeah.
know, being humorous.
Yeah. I got
but like to him,
Yeah.
that's
sure,
how he
Yeah.
remember. If he was listening to this, he'd go, "That was the fucking guy."
I'm sure he pictured me
That's
with
the
like
guy.
a toothpick in my mouth and like shuffling cards. Oh
Yes.
yes. Yeah, when did I go up there, get this dog? I got a
You run a shell game in
Yeah.
Times Square.
I got a nice Edsel Cadillac Coupe de Ville, leather seats and everything. The whole thing. You don't roll the windows down. There's a button up and down with a button up and down.
I
and a
also
button.
do airbrushing.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, how much you pay for that screen door?
Drive a handsome cab.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you just
I'm a livery driver on the weekends.
right.
I'm a livery driver. Yeah.
Oh
my neighbor.
my God.
Yeah. So anyway, didn't get that dog. Got Rosie. Everything worked out. One more thing I want to talk about.
To New York.
I know. One thing I do want to talk about when we talk about TV once in a while, and I don't know if we mentioned this last week. Did we talk about Ben Franklin yet?
I don't think we did.
Okay, super quick.
Okay, this is a new series.
Yes. If you have Apple TV, okay, which it came across my desk that I like Revolutionary War, bullshit.
Sure.
Sorry, Ted, about winning the war, but no taxation without representation.
Nobody likes a sore loser.
Yeah, motherfucker. Why don't you take all your tea and dump it in the harbor, bitch? Sorry, it's very old. Too soon. Ted's like too soon.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Wound's still fresh.
No, I didn't know you're a real Tory. So anyway, I like that kind of stuff. Like, you ever see the Mel Gibson movie, The Patriot?
Don't believe I have.
Oh yeah, it's great. He plays a patriot.
Okay.
And Heath Ledger is his son, and Heath Ledger. Sorry, the movie's fucking 30 years old, so get over it. It's a spoiler. But Heath Ledger ends up getting killed by the British Army, and then there's a really bad guy who's the head of like the local British Army, and then Mel Gibson is a guy that is a country farmer, but he ends up in like going into the war because he has to for his son and everything else. And the great thing about it, the end of the movie, and it sounds like I'm making this up, but the end of the movie, Mel Gibson kills the bad guy with a broken American flag. I promise. It's like, I'm like watching this. I'm like, wow, this is fucking right on the nose here, Mel. It was like, this is right after Braveheart. The guy could do no wrong. Anyway, so I see this thing called Franklin. It's all lowercase, so it's good. And I saw the trailer, and it's basically it's a series about when Benjamin Franklin went to France to solicit money and arms and blah 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 from the French government. Then it was King Louis. This is before the Revolution. Everyone get a pen. There'll be a quiz. This is not the Republic of France. And it's all about, and this was a real thing that happened in history. Franklin went over there, and he basically was there for like, I don't know, 2 years or something. And he was a celebrity over there because of his Poor Man's Almanac and all that bullshit. So anyway, I was like, oh, in Apple TV, they make these series, and Apple TV's got more money than God. So I said the production values are going to be high. It's going to be kind of, and I had actually let my Apple TV subscription lapse.
Well, you get a free one, I know, with every Apple device.
Yeah, but it's
right.
Don't
you get a free year?
3 months, but they don't.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
yeah,
I thought you got.
And they don't run concurrently, so you only get 3 months. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's not like you can buy like an Apple Watch 3 months, Apple TV 3 months, Apple.
Right.
You get 3 months because they hook it up to your Apple ID, and that's it.
Okay. I just thought that. Maybe I just skimmed the offer, but this could have been 10 years ago or something, and that's why it was a year. But I've never actually taken them up on it. But I will go on there because it's kind of like Amazon, where you can just rent any movie.
Yes,
that's the only reason why I usually ever go on there.
I don't
watch Ted Lasso.
Oh, it's a feel-good show. You know what? It's a show that's nice. And why can't we watch?
What I heard.
Why can't we watch a nice show?
That's what I heard.
Jason Sudeikis, guy doesn't know how to fuck though. His wife ran away from him. What's her name? Dabney Coleman.
It's a month.
January Jones.
January Jones.
No, it is not.
It is.
No, it's
Wait,
not.
Jason Sudeikis?
Nope.
He was married to
January
her.
Jones.
Who is she married? Oh no, a different SNL guy, right?
No. Okay, no. What I know of January Jones is I know that Bobby Flay banged her and gave her a love child. Bobby Flay, the chef.
All right.
He's cooking up a pot of potent cum for her fucking quim. Anyway, so this Franklin show, I get Apple TV back and I watched the first episode, and I'm watching
Oh, yeah,
this.
she was married to Jason Sudeikis.
January Jones?
Yeah.
For how long?
I think they have kids together. I know they have kids.
But that's not the one. That's not the one that left her, because the actress I'm
Oh, you're thinking of a different lady.
Okay, let's just back up for 1 second. Jason Sudeikis, his ex-wife, left him for the Watermelon Kid song, Harry Styles.
Okay.
What's her name? She was in that show on HBO called Vinyl, which only lasted one. Bobby Cannavale.
I liked that movie.
It was all right. But I mean, for me,
show. Sorry.
Yeah. So she's an actress.
Watch Ray Romano have a 3-way. I mean, when you get to see that
in my dream, in my King of Queens fan fiction,
one of the fantasies I didn't even know I had.
Yeah. Okay. Look
Jason
up
Sudeikis. So Jason Sudeikis' wife who left him.
Yes, that's good. You put that in. Poor Jason Sudeikis right now is like, why am I getting a nosebleed? He's like, who's talking about me out there?
Okay.
It's like it's. But I can't.
Yeah. What is her fucking name?
It's Mariah Carey.
She Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, what do you last? The importance of being a whore.
Okay. Yeah, I did know that at one point. Okay.
Yes. So anyway, so I get this Apple TV thing, and I'm watching this and out of the gate, I'm watching this thing, and it opens up with like a ship landing on the shores of France, and it's that it's Abraham Lincoln, that it's Benjamin Franklin, but he's all wrapped up in like scarves and shit because they didn't have I don't know what puffy jackets in 1789 or something, and he has his dumb 3-corner hat on, and but he gets to like land, and he kind of undoes his scarf, and there's Benjamin Franklin. And guess who's playing Benjamin Franklin? It's Michael Douglas.
Interesting.
Yes. And here's the weird part about
Liberace and Ben Franklin.
Here's the weird thing for me about it. You look at him, right? His version, and I do want you to look this up so you can see what I'm saying. But when we think of Benjamin Franklin, maybe not our international audience, but Benjamin Franklin, if you think of the guy, he has long, kind of stringy hair on the side, like the guy from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he's completely bald on top, right?
Right.
That's what Benjamin Franklin.
Flying a kite.
Apparently, he's a real pussy hound, but that's what he looks like. Okay, and as a matter of fact, even in this show, Franklin, they have like a little kind of a opening montage thing, and in that opening montage, they show a Benjamin Franklin, and he looks like that. Well, Benjamin Franklin, Michael Douglas's Benjamin Franklin, has a beautiful head of gray hair that comes back and is like, but he's not bald at all.
Yeah.
Look, do you see it? Bless you.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. Yeah, I mean it's receding.
It's not. I don't know. I watched the show.
I'm looking at it right now.
All right. Well,
I would say it's receding,
but it's not. But it's not. Look at a picture of Benjamin Franklin next to it.
I know his. I'll show you. Like his is this. Michael Douglas is here. Ben Franklin's is.
Yeah, Ben Franklin has like no hair on top of his head.
He's
like nothing.
He's got the the Larry David. This is just like
it's like a ring.
They pushed it back 2 inches from what Michael Douglas is. Because
he's 80. But I don't understand. Like, did Michael Douglas have a conversation with him? And he's like, "Look, I'll be."
He's like, "I want to be hot, Ben.
Yeah,
I want to be like
sexy.
a more fuckable."
Yeah.
It's definitely. It's kind of actually. It's like it looks really stupid because they almost should have not pushed it back at all. Like they should have either gone all the way and just done a different thing, or gone all the way back with it. Like real male pattern baldness, because this just looks like I'm looking at a press photo of it or whatever, like
and trust me,
it just looks like airbrushed.
And trust me, when you watch the show,
right,
it doesn't look like, it looks like just a regular head of hair. Like so anyway, look, I know it's just weird to me because when he was Liberace, he's like butt fucking Matt Damon, and in that he's wearing a toupee. It would almost be like if he was going to play Liberace, but he was like, I want to look like Han Solo. You'd be like, really? I don't know. It feels like that's a weird choice to make. So anyway, and then I don't recommend Franklin because, my vision is pretty fucked up. So it's a lot of subtitles, but I am surprised because I actually speak some French, and I close my eyes and they talk French, and I'm able to sort of pick out like a third of it, as long as they say fenêtre a lot. That's window. I'm like,
Mhm.
whoa, Fenetra.
Ooh.
Excuse me, Benjamin Franklin, climb through a Fenetra for me, and I'll know what you're talking about. All right, let's say hi to everybody, and
Yeah,
then we'll
let's say
jump
hi to
over.
the folks.
Hey, everybody.
The folks.
Oh, hey,
whoops! I just put
by the way,
thing
get on the
me.
Patreon, please. We're at a nice 3-digit number right now.
Yeah, baby.
I don't want to go dip down. It'll depress me. So let's continue. If you listen to the show,
we gotta name. We had some new ones, so we'll do roll call.
We're gonna roll call on the Patreon. But remember, if you are on the Patreon, please send us through Patreon or Instagram or whatever. It'd be better if you send it through Patreon because it's easier to find.
Send it through Patreon because it's it's a Patreon promotion.
Yes, Brian McCarthy on Patreon, and then just say hi. I'd like and send us your mailing address because I just sent out all of them a few days ago. So as much as I think, and if for some reason in 2 weeks and you gave us your address and you haven't gotten one yet, then please let us know because as far as I know, they've all gone out. There's actually one left, but I have to do that one because I forgot that one. But they're all out. So if for some reason in 2 weeks' time from right now, you haven't gotten your headshot, then please hit us up, and I promise I'll get it right out to you. But I don't think there's any stragglers. I think I actually was able to do it. Anyway.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi to Ted. Hi to
Ted.
Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi to Julian.
Hello, Julian.
Julian says, "What's up, boys?
Hey.
Breath of fresh air. Shout out Lacoste."
Yeah, that's right. I'm wearing
this
a shirt.
Guy gets it.
Sorry, I'm wearing a shirt, everybody.
He said, also says, "Where's Hollywood Howard?" Funny you should ask. It's Hollywood Howard's 75th birthday
it's his
today.
75th birthday today. So next Friday, we are going to have a birthday party for Hollywood Howard. Special guest.
Can't wait.
And Holly, let's try and get Lucy Sunflower. Should we just buy him a prostitute? I don't know. We'll talk about it.
I'm for that.
I bet Natasha would do it for like $50.
Okay.
But Howard's such a weirdo.
Yeah, I feel like he'd like a Lucy Sunflower more.
Ugh. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Listen, I think all those girls do privates.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. For sure.
Oh, fuck. How weird would that would out here doing the Patreon, Howard's plowing on.
What's he going to use?
One of my fans girls?
What, one of my kids' rooms? I don't know.
Guest bathroom.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
How did you envision this going down?
Right on one of my pillows. And I would never wash it.
Like a motel by the Holland Tunnel.
No, I feel like Howard sit on her face right on our duvet. And that's it.
Right.
My wife would come in the room and be like, "Why does this room smell like cat food and Metamucil?" I'd be like, "Well, because there was a woman with a really hairy pussy and an 80-year-old man in here, and she sucked his limp dick, and he came fucking come to dust."
I don't think it'd be limp.
I don't know. We'll ask him tonight.
But
anyway, next week, Howard birthday on Friday. Special guest. We're going to try to figure out something fun for him. We're definitely gonna get him drunk.
Fun. I mean, we got him drunk last time.
Maybe he'll say the N-word again immediately.
Jesus Christ. I believe that was on the Patreon, right?
I
don't think it was on the regular show, but it was in a context.
It's on stormfront.org.
Hi to it's on Newsmax.
Yeah.
Hi to Chris Mack.
Hi, Chris.
Chris Mack, did you reach out to Sabrina Piper and her enormous jubes on? Get Sabrina Piper and her enormous jubes. That's like she's like a comedian, maybe OnlyFans girl. I don't know. But she's got enormous jubes.
Let's reach out to her.
Maybe I bet Lainey would know her.
I don't know. Lainey hasn't come. I mean, look, whatever. Okay,
maybe
sure.
It's slow. Maybe it's slow on porn right now. Hi to we said Chris. Hi to Parth.
Hi, Parth.
Hi to Kay.
Hi, Kay.
Hi to who else? Hi to we said hi to Ted. Hi to Eclectic.
Yeah,
hi to Ovo Cool Cat.
Hey, Ovo.
Brian, to follow up on the TD's closure, the city wants to shut them down. He's talking about TD's in Albuquerque. TD's closure. The city wants to shut them down until they remove the private rooms. Wow, I would say shut it down until they put them in.
Yeah, no kidding.
If I were the mayor,
you know what? Leave it alone. It's much better to have a place to go to get a hand job. What do you want to have it behind a dumpster or something?
Sure. He says because no one can see currently what is happening in there.
Well, it's a private room.
If the girls are being taken advantage of or not. I don't know.
Albuquerque, stay out of our private rooms, Albuquerque.
Right?
Yeah. There's a big Air Force base there. Those boys need to get their rocks off.
My body, my choice.
Thank you.
Is that anything?
No.
Is the Supreme Court getting?
I guess you could get an abortion in a private room.
You
imagine like you get a private room, you just see a guy dragging a vacuum cleaner in with like a crying teenager,
like coat hanger in one
What's going on in there? I'm gonna give her an abortion. I'm not gonna fuck her.
Preventative measures.
Yeah. She's my daughter.
Kay says, looking good, Brian.
Feeling good.
I can verify. I've actually met Kay in real life. She's a real lady.
Oh, is it a gal?
Yeah, Kay's a gal.
Hey, this ring comes off, baby.
Right? Not like it's soldered on or anything.
No.
Okay.
Hi, Parth.
Hi to DJ Mario G.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Dropped us a couple of emojis.
Hi, Mario.
Let's see, Chris. Just see if there's any shout out. Chris says shout out Lisa Ann.
Oh yeah.
Kay says your sister's ass. That's a Mario Bosco reference.
Okay.
Wow. Anybody else?
Deep cut.
Else? Tanktastic.
Hey Tank.
Hey Tank. Hey Joe.
Hey Joe.
Hey Matthew.
Hello Matthew.
He says hello, gentlemen.
Hello, sir.
I love you, sir.
I love you, sir.
Is what he says.
Right back at you.
Yeah, right back at you. Let's see who else. Ovo.
Okay, all right.
Going down the list.
Okay.
People are chatty today. Smokey the Spurg.
Hi, Smokey. Only you can prevent.
Oh, yeah. Smokey says, what do y'all mean by jump over to the Patreon? Glad you asked, Smokey.
Oh, well, Smokey, pull up a chair.
Patreon. Yeah, patreon.com/Brian McCarthy.
Yes.
Sign up. There's bonus content.
Yeah. It's like basically everyone's going to be like, I know this, but if the show you're listening to now, we're going to end in like a minute or so. And then what we do is we still sit here and then it's an hour of more of this, but we tend, because it's Patreon, we drop a lot of N-bombs. No, I'm just kidding. No,
only if Howard's here and he's drunk and he's talking about antiquated snack.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. Right.
That was talking about something.
That was the context of it.
Yeah.
So it's an extra hour of show, and then also there's ringtones and there's bullshit.
All kinds of.
It's worth like you join for a month for $3, and if you don't like it, then fucking dump it. Right. But try it. It would be nice if you checked it out.
Yeah. Sure. All right.
Everybody, thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. Everybody else, although we're gonna save TDs, save the private rooms at TDs. Right. Everybody. Albuquerque needs to keep it real, All right. Thank you. And we'll see you next week. Howard's birthday party.